it's the English Simmer here, and I'm 28 years old now. I've been playing The Sims since the year 2000, since I was a tiny little 6-year-old when I probably shouldn't be playing the game. And yes, that means that my memories throughout the franchise are kind of all muddled up. And today, I thought we would sort through those memories together and talk about the memory system throughout the franchise. I basically wanted to record this video because obviously in the latest gameplay trailer for Growing Together, we had a quick little look at milestones, and whilst they kind of showed off a lot of them, I still feel like we don't know an awful lot about them, other than that they kind of have an effect probably on your Sims relationships and like experiencing milestones together as a family dynamic. But this got me thinking, what would I actually like a specific milestone memory system to look like? I remember playing The Sims 2 and being such a big fan of the memory system, but in my head I can't really remember why that was the case, so we're gonna have a little reminisce and we're gonna find out what made memories so special to me in The Sims 2 and then how they actually evolved into The Sims 3 and what they're currently like in The Sims 4. I know, I bet none of you remembered that The Sims 4 had a memory system. The Sims 2 is where I fell in love with the franchise. Don't get me wrong, I love The Sims 1. I played it literally at any given opportunity. If I was sat down at a PC, I was probably playing The Sims or the My Scene game. Whereas Sims 2 was really just the place where I fell in love with storytelling in the Sims franchise. And Memories was a big system of that. And it was just such a fun thing to like look back through generation and generation to see like what had happened, what made your sim the way that they were. So we're just gonna have a look at some of the pre-existing Sims because I think that's what The Sims does very, very well. We're gonna go into Strange Town, one of my favorite worlds, along with Veronaville. One of my favorite Sims to play as a child was, of course, the one and only Nervous Subject. So if we go down to Simology, and then you've got this little thought bubble that says memories. This is kind of what I'm assuming The Sims 4 to be like. If milestones are anything like this, I'm all for it. I prefer these sort of memories to like having to type it out yourself, having to attach it to like a specific screenshot. I take screenshots for my own memories, but not really for my Sims. I much prefer them to kind of have them brought up by the game when they reach those milestones. Grew up badly. Too soon, too soon. I wasn't ready to grow up yet. My life seems like it's going nowhere. Kissed Mystery Sim for the first time. All right, it's such a thrill to kiss someone new. Cersei has a lot going on with her. At first, it seemed crazy to walk instead of crawl, but you know what? I can see all kind of things from up here. Cersei has memories from being a toddler. Went steady with Vidkund. My sweetie is all mine now. Ugh. Broke up with him. We were hot, now we're cold. Okay, Katy Perry definitely played The Sims 2. Sweet Treats was just a little thank you to the Sims team for giving her inspiration for one of her biggest hits, You're Hot Then You're Cold. I know it's just called Hot and Cold. I don't think I ever paid any attention to this man when I was a child, which I mean, not surprising. Look at me now. There we go. Those two got in a fight, and so we have two new memories now. We got lost a fight with General Buzz. That's smart. That Sim better watch out. Someday, maybe I'll get even. And then also made enemies with General Buzz. This Sim and I just weren't very friendly towards each other. Is it worth to try and improve this relationship? Absolutely not. One thing I think I probably would change about this is I would really like to have like a date or like how many days like have passed since this memory happened. Like it's all well and good like remembering these things, but I would quite like a little timer to show you like how long it's been. There are also like vacation memories, which I honestly didn't play with Bon Voyage all that much when I was a kid. Bon Voyage was like literally one of the last packs I think I picked up for The Sims 2, which is confusing considering Sims on Holiday was one of my favorites for the originals. So you have like take a bow, find an island secret, learn to spread relaxation with heat, dance with the fire-loving locals. Ooh, Granny Isabella, where the hell have you been, Loca? Apparently popping out babies and grandbabies here, there, and everywhere. Literally goes from learned to talk from like her dad, I'm assuming, getting married to Patricio. Ooh, okay, I see you. I know what happened on your marriage night. Claudio got engaged, so it even tells you memories of your kids in The Sims 2. Maximize the cooking skills, so you even have them for your skills. Claudio died, Olivia died, and then Hero died, and she retired. Sims 3, she was good in many ways. We took her for granted in many ways. She was also terrible in many ways. I don't think any Sims game can get off scot-free with being like the perfect game, because there's drawbacks of every single one of these bad boys. I went back last week and played Generations on my channel because I was like, you know what? People are drawing comparisons between Generations and Growing Together. How about I go back into The Sims 3 and remind myself of what Generations had to offer? First of all, it wasn't called Memories, it was just called a scrapbook. And this was one of the biggest differences between The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. Obviously, in The Sims 2, it has everything sort of already done for like pre-mades. If I were to go into like a pre-made's household, they wouldn't have pre-existing memories. You can have up to 300 of them, which is quite nice. I quite like the UI. It's sort of that like generation-y feel to it. This one kind of fell flat for me though. I don't really like need that photograph tied to it. Like I said, it doesn't super appeal to me. Like I would definitely prefer this if I could take this picture and then like put it up on my wall as like decoration and sort of like a memory in that sense. Picked up Carol, such a cute little bundle of joy. It would be a delight to hold this one for hours. You can actually get rid of that and just like typed in whatever you wanted. It offers a little bit of customization, but I just prefer when the game does it for me. I'm a lazy little Sims player. Spencer Funk became a teenager, which these screenshots are awful. Enjoyed woohoo in a treehouse. The sounds of nature always make for an extra special romantic rendezvous. What I do like about being able to type it in, because the game doesn't do it like The Sims 2, you can kind of say who it was with and you can add a date, which I really, really like. So I could, for example, for this sim, I don't have seasons installed, but let's say it happened on like the 6th of spring. I could type that in and it could be like year 1 of me like playing this family. Then we also have like statistics as well. What we have in The Sims 4, there's like a little stats thing, but I actually prefer these stats, I think, or at least some of them. Like this longest romance with Sabrina Funk and longest romance duration is really cool. Number of betrayals, number of times cheated. They really said, here's where you can start the drama. And then this is a biography, which I never ever used. For science though, let's hop in to the single mum's household and actually check out like their memories, because I'm fairly confident that they don't have their own memories. Ooh, Fiona is focusing on raising her teenager and living a healthy life now that the past is behind her. It said that she was focusing on raising her child, whereas literally she doesn't even have a memory of like giving birth. Suspicious. And I can hear you all now. What? The Sims 4 has a memory system? Why does nobody talk about this? Because it's not really worth talking about. Spoiler alert. Also, hello to every single one of you who has never watched one of my Forgotten Features videos, because I feel like I talk about this every single time. And basically, it's got this like camera shutter over here. You have your screenshot capture manager. I don't like it. It's badly optimized. This feels like something that the team haven't even thought about since base game released. You have to scroll through literally like all of your screenshots files, he's part of this family. This is my short lifespan legacy. There is no way to sort them. It's just kind of a randomly generated list. I felt like they were one time in like date order, but I have this folder literally spanning back probably to like 2020. So you can make a happy memory. Are you sure you want to make this screenshot a memory? We are going to say yes. It's then tagged as a happy memory, and I can be like, the day I adopted Herman. I can't really remember the date that this happened, but then we can view the memory. Tagged in it, we have the household. So you can have Sim reminisce on the memory. You can only do this for screenshots that were actually taken in your save. So let's play it. And then Babs is gonna wander over and have a little reminiscence on that little memory. And then did you get... We got a happy moodlet from that, like old times from being near family, enjoying being near family. I don't know if that's specifically from the reminiscing that we just did, or if that was a moodlet that Babs maybe had before it. And again, this is like an opt-in scenario where you as the player really have to do all of the work. It's not like it's just automatically added onto your Sims. It doesn't really give them much personality. It's just a nice little thing if you can be bothered to do it, which I know that probably 98% of Sims 4 players won't be bothered to do it. Which leads me on to milestones. We can draw the assumption that it's unfortunately gonna be part of the pack because they are selling it as part of the pack. That scares me a little bit because I'm like, are they gonna go back to like all the previous packs and like integrate them? Because I definitely feel like, especially like base game, like first kiss, first woohoo, who it was with, like your romance, who you asked to be your partner throughout your life. All of those things are kind of tied to like base game specific. Yes, I know that there's going to be some milestones that relate to this new pack. For example, I kind of hope like woohooing in a treehouse is going to be there because that's an experience. I would like a milestone for every single different woohoo spot that your Sims can woohoo in The Sims 4. But I also think things like turning into an occult, because those were memories that you could have in The Sims 2. You could have like turn into a genie. But I do think that there is room to expand on that and make the Sims 2 ones even better in The Sims 4, like giving those dates, or maybe sort of having a hybrid, giving us an automatic thing with like the sim that we did that milestone with, and then also being able to like type in the date yourself if you do have seasons, or like who your longest romance is, which that's actually something from The Sims 3 that I quite like. I think if we just merge those things together, we could have one of the most perfect memory systems that we've had in the franchise. My hope for milestones is that they also maybe come into play between like the bonds. We kind of saw this again in the gameplay trailer because Grandpa and Atlas experienced that fire together, and so I think because they experienced that milestone together, it sort of brought them closer because they shared that memory. And then maybe if you have a milestone that's like you argued with a specific sim or you had a fight with a specific sim, I really hope that that has a knock-on effect to your like relationship. I feel like Sentiments tried to do that and it just didn't do it in the best way. It didn't really have like much of an effect on your Sims relationships. Like you can literally fall out with someone, have a hurt sentiment towards them, and yet still be like buddy and like really chatty the next minute. These milestones both highlight the way your Sims are growing up, as well as gain new abilities that open up the world around them. For social interaction and exploration, through Sims experiences and relationships, they'll encounter milestones, which will provide a way of showing players their Sims' current growth, as well as their lifelong touchstones that continue to impact them as they age. So it goes literally from you being an infant all the way through to being an elder if you choose to live that long. These include overcoming career obstacles, getting let go from a job, having a midlife crisis, having a family move in, and so much more. Bringing up Sims will be filled with new infant milestones that highlight the ways in which your Sims grow up and provide a guide for players through the new infancy gameplay, making each milestone feel like a brand new and exciting experience every time. Basically, what I'm saying is I have love, hopes, and dreams. And I think my biggest one is that this isn't just tied to the pack, in the sense that even if they do introduce it in this pack and you can only get milestones in this pack, which I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it should be a base game update, but if they do retrofit these milestones and like actually take a look back through the franchise, kind of like their own milestones as the Sims team and like everything that they've come out with, I genuinely think that this could be potentially one of my favorite features. I know it might not be a big deal for everyone, but it's a big deal to me. I don't know if I'm gonna cover the live stream, because if I do get my hands on early access, I quite like just like getting all my own info out there. So I might not have a video going through the live stream that's happening on Friday, but thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be covering all of this expansion pack and the infants update. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.